determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the home of the United States Grand Prix, the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas, for the third round of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service. We're for a 60-minute race today, and after two different winners in the first two races, could we be on for a third? Well, in the commentary box tonight, it's me, Adam Bath, and alongside me, it's Alex Simpson. Alex, Road Pro Series champion, and we're now at Circuit of the Americas, a track that, was that on the schedule?
Yeah, it was a fresh
I was about to come to you to ask what it's like then, but yeah.
Do you know what? It was actually one of those ups and downs races where everything happens, but yeah, unfortunately the car bottomed down, put itself into the wall. I say that for itself, but obviously I was still behind the wheel, so it was my fault. But no, it's a good track. I like it. It's a real challenge. It's one of those circuits where I think you know, people, they do enjoy driving it, but the demand to stay within the track limits kind of makes it a little bit frustrating at some points. And yeah, some people hate it because of that. But actually, it's a really fun track to drive. Great overtaking opportunities, huge straights. So we're going to see some good overtakes from both classes today. MX-5s. There is a potential for them to break away, I feel, because the infield sections are quite technical. But of course, those long straights, they really will make a huge, you know, sort of draft train. So who knows on that they seem to stick with each other very easily, do the MX-5. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, we've covered this series long enough to know that the MX-5s will barely get separated. I think the last time we came here, we had an absolutely epic finish, and funnily enough, that was also when our colleague Andrew Woodhouse wasn't with us. He's not with us today because Alex's head was too big after winning the Road Pro Series at the weekend. But that's that out of the way. But just quickly on the Road Pro Series, Alex, so the points have all been sussed out, and not only are you back in the World Championship Grand Prix Series, but champion of the Road Pro Series as well. Second time Apex Racing has won that title, in fact.
Yeah, it has. Obviously, we won it with Graham Carroll. I'm delighted, obviously, to do that, but you know, all credit. I need to give obviously a shout out to the two drivers who didn't turn up for the final couple of races, because they were absolutely on it, and that was Freddie Rasmussen and Joshua Rogers. I was looking set to finish third, I think, but yeah, they had other commitments, I'm afraid, and yeah, I kept myself in the hunt for the points the whole season, so the fact that they weren't able to attend sort of opened it up for me, even though Nürburgring didn't go my way and ended on lap 10. I think I scored enough points to secure the title. So yeah, I'm delighted. Names at the top, and as they say, sometimes a win is a win. So pretty happy.
Probably in it to win it as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, very, very true point. So.
Well, we've talked about the point standings in that series. We'll move on to what's taking place here tonight around the Circuit of the Americas, the Grand Prix circuit, 5.5 kilometres in length. We'll get the championship standings up. Let's have straight away a look at the Mustangs. It is Aero Nom leading the way there. Won round 2 of the season last week at Sebring in the Mustang. Second is Mike Dam, just the 7 points behind for him. And he is our other Mustang winner. He won the Daytona 90-minute race 2 weeks back. Third is Pasquale Iannucci. Then fourth is Clint Vigas. 1 point behind him in fifth is Kevin Ford, who was very unlucky to not get a victory at Sebring last week. Came down to the final few laps on that occasion. Brush with the wall as well that ruled him out. He'll be hoping to get a win here at COTA today. By the way qualifying is going, he could be in the hunt. And then in 6th place, Stephen Thomas, 7th Leon Wright, 8th for Tyler Schiffler, 9th TD Travis Davis, and 10th Branton Whitworth. Moving over to the open category in the Mustangs, we've got Mike Monaghan leading the way there. He's got a 4-point advantage over Robert Grist in 2nd, and Raymond Smith in 3rd, Corey Wharton in 4th, and then 5th we've got David Henry, and then 6th Jennifer McDonald, 7th Jay Johnson, 8th Scott Brooks, 9th Cameron Hearn, and 10th Raymond Bader Jr. Those two scoring 0 points so far this season. Moving into the Mazdas then for the first time today, and it is Rob Hartley that is leading the way in the points there. He's got a 5-point advantage over John Allen, a slender advantage there between those two. Allen won at Daytona, Hartley won at Sebring, so a win apiece for those two. Then Travis Schwenke in 3rd, then 4th, bit of a way back now. It is Jeff Jacobs and David Payton 5th, Brian Holmes, and 7th Tyler McFarlane. And over in the open category, you've got Jason Walsh leading the way there. He's got a 1-point advantage over Zachary Rubin, and then it's Dan Carrido, Edgar Sanchinelli, and Mike Key in 5th place. So that brings you all up to date in the standings, and qualifying just underway at the moment, coming to the end of it, Alex. And Mike Dam currently sitting on the pole, and Kevin Ford 2nd, and Clint Vigas, good to see him back again. He's currently running well on the 2nd row of the grid. Yep,
3rd place at the moment, looking good, times out there. He's 1.1 second back, but I just think that's the nature of COTA. You know, we can see some really large gaps. I'm trying to remember, did we go to COTA last season? Is this the race that Dan won by like 20 seconds?
If it was, I wasn't here for it. It was the last time I remember a COTA race was about 2 seasons back, where we had the Mazdas and the Mustangs both battling for the lead together on the final lap of the race. Remember that one, but might have been Mike Sam winning by quite a margin last season, so you may be right on that one. But,
yeah. Do you know what? I trust your memory more than I do my own.
I'm going to look back and see whether we were here last season. But yeah, Mike Dunn doing a fantastic job in qualifying at the moment. The Canadian currently sits on pole with 2:21.5. The next nearest contender is nearly a second behind Kevin Ford there, and then 3rd Clint Vigas, 4th Tyler Schiffler, 5th Mike Griffith, then TD Travis Davis in 6th, and then Russell Ruddock in 7th. Good qualifying from him as things stand. Tyler Schiffler just moving himself up to 3rd place in the qualifying order. Then Andrew Lanning in 8th, Michael Ruddock in 9th, and Matthew Katila rounding out the top 10 there.
Have a look at Hartley, who's leading the way at the moment in the MX5 category. He's about to finish a lap. Will he improve? Oh, he's close to getting off track there as well, as he runs a little bit wide. We're looking at better than a 2:27.587.
Looks like he might have picked up an off track there. Yeah, no valid time.
Abandoned the lap, hasn't he?
Shame here, and that is a shame that the off track, how punishing these off tracks are at Circuit of the Americas. Looking at some of the sim racing Facebook groups, it is, as Alex said at the beginning of the show, one of the primary reasons why many series don't come here, which is a shame because it is a fantastic track to drive. And even in some of the touring cars that we use on iRacing, like the Kia for example, it does go pretty well around the circuit, but it is just that incident limit that puts people off coming here.
Yeah, I mean, you can get 4 or 5 in one lap, you know, just
Yeah.
off tracks. That's the crazy thing. So, I appreciate obviously when it's tarmac outside, people are going to take the advantage a little bit. But I think iRacing just went a little bit overboard.
Not long to go then in this qualifying session before we get things underway. Of course, this is the third race of the season. This calendar bolsters a 12-race campaign. Next week we're at Twin Ring Motegi for a 90-minute endurance race. I wondered if that might be under the lights as well, just to throw up a bit of intrigue. Then Laguna Seca, round 5. Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama for round 6. Auto Club Speedway, that's the first time I think that I'm going to get a glimpse at the road course around Fontana. That's round 7. I don't know about you, Alex.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it, so that'd be interesting.
I'll have to buy the track for that one as well. Nürburgring, 90-minute race there. Virginia International Raceway, 60-minute race for round 9. The Snetterton 300. They'll be touching down on British soil for that one, round 10. 60-minute race there. And Sonoma, round 11. And then we end the season, as we tend to do now, with round 12. Road Atlanta, 90-minute race for that one. Right, that is the qualifying session over and done with. Unfortunately, no track guide for this one this week. We just seem to have one, but doing this formation that we can run you through some of the key overtaking points and some of the toughest corners on the circuit. Mike Dam then starts on pole position. Aero Nom starts on the front row alongside. 0.6 of a second between those two in qualifying. Kevin Ford in third, then fourth Tyler Shiflett, fifth Clint Vigas. The top from second to fifth, separated by just under a second. Mike Griffith starting in 6th, then TD Travis Davis in 7th, Russell Ruddock 8th, Andrew Lanning 9th, and Michael Ruddock in 10th. Matthew Katila starting in 11th, Jennifer McDonald 12th, 13th for Mike Monaghan, Scott Brooks in 14th, Corey Wharton in 15th, and Raymond Bader Jr. starting in the 16th place. And running down the rest of the grid, it is Rob Hartley starting on pole position in the Mazda MX-5s, Brian Holmes starting in 2nd, and 3rd is John Allen. Good qualifying from John. Usually he starts further down the order, and we see the strategy work is magic on him. And Travis Schwenke starting in 4th place, and 5th for Jim List. Jeff Jacobs in 6th, Joe Boyd 7th, Zachary Rubin in 8th in class, then 9th for David Payton, and 10th for Geordie Fike. Lyndall McMurphy in 11th place in the class, Dan Carrido 12th, 13th Mike Taylor, 14th Chris Foreman, Edgar Sanchinelli in 15th, Mike Key in 16th, and starting at the back is going to be Leon Wright. However, he hasn't set a qualifying time, so I don't think he's going to be taking the start unless he joins the session a little bit later on. Cars then are on the back straight, long straight here, which should allow for plenty of overtaking in the Mazdas. Even this straight's probably not long enough for the Mustangs to get any sort of tow, but we will wait and see as the race progresses, and the safety car will be leading them off any moment now and going into Alex turn 12, one of the key overtaking points on the circuit here.
Yeah, I think this will be one that we see a lot of moves, especially in the MX-5s today. They'll be exchanging positions all the way down this straight and into this hairpin. I think we will see some Mustang moves though here. I do feel like it is long enough to get it done.
Just got to make sure you're good enough on the brakes that you don't run out wide. There is plenty of runoff area here, but as we have been mentioning, you will get an off track, and with the Ricmotech series there is a points penalty that comes your way if you pick up too many incident points along the way. Now we're heading into this double apex left hand, almost similar, Alex, to the back section of Bahrain. And if you get your braking right here and don't lock up, you can maybe surprise the driver in front with an overtake here. But now we're coming into the final sector, and this triple right-hander, almost turn 8 at Turkey in reverse, and we saw Max Verstappen give this corner some headlines in the US Grand Prix last year.
Yeah, you can nip up the inside there, can't you? It's funny actually, on iRacing you get a massive bump if you try and do that, and it almost is too slow. But so I think that's probably what scares a few people off in our sim doing that. But yeah, Max all four wheels over the white line, which is no, I think I agreed with the decision on that one, but it was perhaps a bit harsh, and sometimes you've got to let them race. But again, that's the nature of the track with the concrete on the runoffs, not grass.
Here we go then, round 3 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. They go over the start-finish line there. Now we're waiting for the lights. They're starting to build up speed. Now the green lights are on, and we're underway here at Circuit of the Americas for round 3 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Mike Dam on the inside, then up on the outside it's going to be. And when it starts a second on the grid, Aero Nom. Into the first corner we go, over the top of the hill, and Nom's going to try and get this done around the outside here. Plenty of room as everyone tries to get their own bit of space. It looks like Nom's got the lead here, and so has also got second place Tyler Shiflett. So Mike Dam, it looked like he had quite a commanding position going into the first corner, now down to third place.
Yeah, Tyler got a great run. Then he took a lot of speed in and got a lot of speed out as well, because he was able to straighten the car up early. And I think that was why Nom had such a strong position there. So, what's going on with the MX-5s? They must be starting any time soon, and they are. They're away. And,
look, he's got the lead.
Yeah, Hartley. Yeah, Alan with a great start, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Hartley behind him. Let's get. I've missed the start, so I just want to run it back just so we can see that again. Apologies for not getting to the MX-5s straight away. But oh, it was really close, and yeah, tell you what, Alan got an absolutely fantastic launch up the inside. Great move. I hope he doesn't get a penalty for that. I don't think he'd cleanly got by before they reached the start-finish line, so should be okay.
Fantastic jump, and maybe that was a clear indication of how good the slipstream is in these Mazda MX-5 cars. Into turn 12 then, at the end of the back straight, it is Aero Nom leading, Tyler Shiflett in second, Mike Dam third, Kevin Ford in fourth, and then Mike Griffith in fifth, sixth Clint Viger, seventh Russell Ruddock, eighth Travis Davis, ninth Michael Ruddock, and 10th Andrew Lanning. If you look at the position gains, it almost looks like the outside has gained a position on every single car that started on the inside. Maybe that was Mike Dam holding everyone up, but yeah, it makes for a very interesting reading in the top 10. Best starter in the Mustangs, Corey Wharton, that has gained 4 positions up to 11th place. There's Travis Schwenke and Brian Holmes going to battle in the Mazda MX-5s as they go into the tight and twisty complex here at COTA.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to see many. Not going to see the leaders lap the MX-5s that many times today. Like you say, I think we've seen this in the past where they come together right at the end. But yeah, Holmes, Svenke, Hartley, Allen, we're used to seeing those guys up the front. Jim List, a driver who we're not, and right on the tail of Brian at the moment.
Good to see a new driver try and force their way into what seems to be this untouchable top 4 as things stand, really. You've got Allen, Hartley, Schwenke and Holmes constantly locking out the top 4 places. Takes me back to the English Premier League from about 10 years back. As we cross the line to complete the opening lap then in the Mazda class, John Allen has a 0.2 of a second advantage over Rob Hartley, and then it's 1 second back to Travis Schwenke in third. We do have stewards today, I believe, so we will hear on the Whispered channel and let you know if anything gets put under investigation, and if any penalties will get served as well. We did have quite a few at Sebring last week, but the amount of runoff area that we've got here for COTA this week, Alex, some of the contact we saw at Sebring shouldn't be repeated here.
Yeah, no, you'd hope not. Obviously, Sebring old school where the grass is right next to the track, so, but yeah, I think it's wise for the drivers, you know, if they're in that sort of close proximity to one another and they feel like there might be contact there, they'll just take a 1X and run a little bit wide just to avoid that, maybe maintain their position. So that's one good thing I think about the circuit and the concrete there as well, is it is a little bit easier to avoid big crashes.
Top 6 then in the Mustang, separated by just 2.7 seconds. That is pretty good in the early stages. Aero Nom looked like he was just starting to come under a little bit of pressure by Tyler Shiplett, but now it looks like Shiplett's having to fend off the offence by Mike Dam here going into the penultimate corner. A corner where you can run out wide and pick up an off track so very easily. I think even if you put 2 wheels onto the AstroTurf on the outside, you get a 1X. Compare that to Brands Hatch. Put all 4 wheels onto that massive acre of space on the exit of Graham Hill Bend and get away scot-free. So
there's no consistency there, is there? So strange how that works. But yeah, even if when the curb finishes, if you still run off even with the curb and touch the red runoff paint, then you get an off track. So it is pretty harsh.
Well, they've been having a massive debate in England at the moment about video referees and the lack of consistency there, and no consistency here with the off tracks. But yeah, COTA really severe for that. But here comes Mike Dam of the inside of. Oh, that was very close to getting past Tyler Shiplett. It looked like he didn't want to take that massive sausage curve on the inside through the S's section here, and that was a very good opportunity for Mike Dam to get that second place. And yeah, it looks like he's already starting to mount a challenge here, Alex, on that free.
Yeah, I think he wants Nom not to pull too far away. Although I have to say, Tyler's really keeping with him right now. The top sort of 5 starting to break away. Sorry, top 6 when you include Clint Vargas in that as well, Mike Griffith there. So I think I don't think he needs to be too rash, worry about losing ground. And you can see Tyler in the slipstream really catches up down the back straight. So almost 4/10 of a second gain there.
2x2, just behind this lot, we've got Russell Ruddock versus Andrew Lanning, and Michael Ruddock versus Corey Wharton going into the end of the straight here, turn 12. It is leading that pack, it is TD Travis Davis, then it's Ruddock, so Ruddock losing a place on this lap, and then Andrew Lanning, who has overtaken Michael Ruddock. So a few positions have been restored here after the position changes at the start of the race, and a nice second group emerging here behind our leaders on the 3rd lap of the race. The lap times here are just under 2.5 minutes, so it probably is one of the longest laps of the year for these cars.
Yeah, it does take a while, doesn't it, to get around the GP layout of COTA, but I have to say, it is great the fact that it takes so much from so many decent circuits around the world.
Yeah.
We talk about, like, those sort of dream tracks that you can make up and wish you could build. That's really what they try to do here. Long, but it's good.
To the top of the hill, probably one of Herman Tilke's best tracks, really, or it's a compilation of his best tracks, isn't it? Got this sweeping right-hander, and now into the S's section, mirroring the Maggotts and Beckett's complex at Silverstone, which is where we're not going to this year in the Ricmotech Series. Sadly, we're going to Snetterton though in the UK. Looking forward to that one. With a long right-hander here and into the left-hander where Mike Dunn was trying to get the position on the previous lap, and he does seem to carry a lot of speed through there because, yeah, again, he closes in on the yellow and black car of Tyler Shiplett. Through the uphill S's, right, left here, and then over the top of the hill where it is so easy to lose the car in any car that you drive, really, and then into this really wide left-hander, which really invites a move up the inside. And is Dam going to do it? No, he's not. But we go onto the back straight now, and we'll see what kind of speeds these Mustangs can get. As Dam runs just a tiny bit wide and allows Kevin Ford a good run on him on the exit.
Clint Vargas there as well was stepping out as he came out of that corner. Looked quite impressive.
Up through the gearbox we go. 206, 210 kilometers an hour here, and we just about reach 220 k's as we get on the brakes into turn 12.
You'd think these would do a little bit quicker than 220, wouldn't you? But big old American muscle car, but yeah, still not slow, I suppose.
220 kilometers an hour. That's 136 in old money. I think my family Mazda 5 Sport might go quicker than that in top gear. That's yet to be seen, I think. But
but does it rattle to pieces while you're trying to do it though?
well, the car is 12 years old, so I think it might do that, but it definitely hasn't got a V8 underneath it, that's for sure. Or a
Hartley and
spoiler.
Allen side by side for the lead. I expect we'll see this several times tonight, especially going down into this corner.
Something's happened to Corey Wharton, by the way, as we look at this. In fact, he's towed to the pits after 4 laps. Don't know what's gone on. Oh, it's been a crash. That's what's happened. Don't know if we could get a replay of this. Corey Wharton was running in 11th position, going into the triple right-hander. Oh, he gets a slide on. I thought someone may have hit him, but he lost it all on his own there. Well, good driving there by Jennifer McDonald to miss out on him. And then it looks like he's just turned back to the pits after that. Maybe a blown engine? It just looks like he's pulled up.
Exactly. Just got on the loud pedal a little bit hard, didn't he? Through the long right, like you say, and the rear's just come around. And I have found that the Mustang can do that quite easily, even though we just hit on its performance a little bit there. It is a bit of a beast, and it will move around underneath you.
Well, shame for Corey Wharton. Things were looking pretty good in the early stages. Back to that Mazda MX-5 battle that we were just looking at briefly before that all kicked off. Rob Hartley then back in the lead here. John Allen down to 2nd place, so that's still a position higher than where he started. And then it's Travis Schwenke in 3rd, and Brian Holmes just keeping a watchful eye on those things, standing 4th place. That's where he started anyway. And damage to the back of John Allen's car can see there as we go through the S's. So I wonder if there may have been a bit of a bump and run by John Allen by Rob Hartley to get the lead, but
I didn't see anything, but it's not unusual for the MX-5s to rub some panels, is it?
No chance of it being clean here in the Mazda MX-5, which does really help. The fact that you can get away with a bit of elbows out racing. And speaking of that, Brian Holmes versus Travis Schwenke for 3rd place in class. No one going for a move up the inside here. Is that because, Alex, you can just get the counter attack on them coming out of the corner?
Exactly, I think so. I think they're better off leaving it to the next straight. At least that way they can sort of defend through the final sector and hope to put a little bit of a gap at least for the main straight.
Which is the straight they're coming down now. See the speed they get. Top speeds in these cars, 197 Travis Schwenke was at when he got on the brakes. So not really too dissimilar really, these cars around the circuit. In fact, the qualifying times, just looking at them now for you, 2:21 was the pole time by Nom, 2:27 by Hartley. So the grand scheme of things, that isn't too much.
You would think it'd be bigger here, a huge track like that, you know. But it just goes to show the MX-5s are so good in the infield section, and it is quite demanding here, the infield. So I'm not surprised.
I think we saw in that epic race that we had a few seasons back that really helps the grandstand finish that we had, because the Mustangs couldn't get by the Mazdas because they were so good through the second half of the lap. It's almost like watching the Red Bull at Hungary. It was pretty even in the first sector there, but back in the days of their dominance in the second sector, they're absolutely mighty through that section.
Kevin Ford, I think, might have just tapped Mike Dam there going into the chicane we were talking about earlier, where people don't make the moves, and he's up and past Mike Griffith now, trying to get a run on Dam. Yeah, so a little cheeky bump and run. I don't think it was intentional. I just think got very, very close. He was attacking just before the contact, but yeah, and they're battling further back as well. Who is that? That is Vigus, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
Having a look at Dam now.
Well, yeah, Dam was trying to get the position on Tyler Shiflett going into the hairpin, misses the braking point, I think, and then gives him the slightest touch, which results in him running wide, and Kevin Ford nipping through into the podium positions, and that's Kevin Ford back up to where he started as well, so he'll take that. And yeah, Dan, we can see the damage to the front of the car now, where he just gave Tyler Shiflett the slightest of taps, and I wonder if that could have an impact on on the car's performance at all. Wait and see, of course. Alex, remember the engine overheating issues?
Yeah, exactly. Indeed, that could rear its ugly head. It's getting a bit tasty in the MX-5, so we're headed down the back straight. Brian Holmes kicking around, Travis Svenke and John Allen there. You could just throw a blanket over him right now. Who's that tucked up behind? That's Jim List in the white Mazda there as well. So good to see Jim doing well. First time we've seen him in the series. But yeah, I think this battle is going to go on and on. But what's quite surprising right now is they are starting to battle each other, and Rob Hartley's just edging away ever so slightly. 2 seconds. Oh, big wiggle for Allen, and he's going to drop almost to the back of this pack as well. Just slots in front of Jim List there.
That was a massive definition of a tank slapper right there on the exit of probably one of the slowest parts of the circuit. And yeah, John Allen down to 4th place. He is still a position higher than where he started, but yeah, he was looking in a commanding position in the early going here, and now he finds himself 4th in class. As you were saying, Rob Hartley starts to edge away from these guys here, and I can't remember the last time we saw a Mazda leader win by a commanding margin. That's how good the races have been here, as John Allen decides to weave about from side to side down the straights, just checking that all is a-okay above his Mazda, and now he's right back on the attack again behind Brian Holmes, just behind these guys. Zachary Rubin and Joe Boyd have just exchanged positions. That's Boyd through into 6th, car 4, and Zachary Rubin down to 7th, car 7 as well. Car 7 in P7 as things stand.
As Ford and Dan got very close to one another at the moment there, and Tyler Shiflett getting very close to our leader as well. So the Mustang's really starting to hot up now.
Dare I say that we're 17 minutes into this one, but I reckon this could be a battle that we could have for the rest of the race here in the Mustangs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in shot. Nom, Shiflett, Ford, Dam and Vigus all within a shout of taking the victory here. And let's not forget, Nom won round 2 of the season at Sebring. Mike Dam, who was 4th in line, won the opening race of the season at Daytona. So Shiflett and Ford yet to get off the mark here, and Kurt Vigus as well. I can't remember the last time Vigus won. May have been a few seasons ago here. As Shiflett has a little look, pokes his nose up the inside, but Aero Nom wise to that move, and he is continuing to lead. But look at Mike Dam now, fancies his chances on Kevin Ford, and has to cover the inside as we go through turn 1. Now into the S's.
Yeah, Ford looked like he had the momentum to cover that off, no problem, didn't he? And now through the S's, such a great sequence of corners. Oh, cheeky look from Dam, just to keep Ford on his toes, maybe force a mistake out of him, see if he can slip through. Not this time.
Well, these two are massive veterans of the series, or at least since we've been covering it. And look at the run that Vigus got. He decided to take an off track there to see if it could help him. He'd use them strategically if there was with the limit that we've got. Dam again, really late on the brakes, almost dragging the left front there as we went through the left hand onto the straight. Looks like he's got a pretty good run here as well, so we could see an overtake going into turn 12 here. He's actually gaining on the Mustang of Ford as we head down the longest straight on the circuit. I'll tell you the length later once I find out how long it is. But here we go into the braking zone. Dam up the inside, Kevin Ford sensible, gives him the space, and Dam just about makes the corner, and that is a fantastic move on the brakes by Mike Dam to get that 3rd place back.
Yeah, I told you we would see a few overtakes there, and yeah, Dam really just trying to sort of show where he got his Q performance from earlier on. Want to try and get onto the back of Tyler very quickly, and challenged on for the lead. That 9/10 of a second almost that he qualified with, you know, I feel like he could pull away if he could get to the front.
Longest straight at the circuit, the back straight, just over 1,200 metres, which is about just under 4,000 feet.
Yeah, some way. So
Oh yeah, I have run a 1500 meter race. Never again. So 1200 meters might have just about done it. Did win the 800 meters back at school. Got that in for you there. Aaron Nothern. He's going to be covering a lot more distance than that in this one today. 20 minutes into this one, and at the moment it shows no sign of dying, this battle for the lead. We just hope that it continues after the pit stops here, which won't be too far away. Window will be here sooner or later. We're waiting for John Allen, I should say, to throw a curveball with the strategy as well.
Well, what we'll do, everything looks like it's died right down. We'll just need to take a quick commercial break. So we're going to head to our partners at Ricmotech just to tell us a little bit about what they're offering out there right now.
Welcome back to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here on Apex Racing TV. Thanks for joining us on Monday evening or Monday night, depending where you are. Tyler Shiflett versus Mike Damden for second place. And thanks for joining us on YouTube or on Facebook. You've got to give the Apex page a like or share the video on Facebook, and give us a subscribe as well on YouTube. Helps the channel grow, and make sure you turn your post notifications on. Get notified of when we're going live for every broadcast. And Mike Dam wants to get in on the act here and try and take second place away from Tyler Shiflett. Shiflett moving over just a tiny little bit, but it has stayed the same while you're away. You have missed nothing really here, especially in the Mustangs, where it has been nose to tail since the word go. There has been a pit stop in the Mazdas, just one. Jeff Jacobs going to come in early on. Has worked in the past for some. Let's see if it works for him in this one, as we've now just got 20. We are 24 minutes into this race, quickly approaching the halfway mark here, Alex.
Yeah, it soon ticks by, doesn't it? Mike Griffith losing the tail end of this pack now as well. He's kind of in no man's land. He's 4 seconds behind these guys watching, and then he's about 8 seconds ahead of Travis Davis behind. So just needs to carry on doing his thing. But yeah, good to see that the top 5 cars are still very, very close together, and that's well, it's top 4 cars in the MX-5s, because John Allen must have made a little mistake. It was top 3 because Jim List and John Allen are about 3.5 seconds back. So I don't know what that was. That must have gone on in the break, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it looks like it happened quite a while back because Allen has remained in that position since. Him and Brian Hose both losing touch now with the top 3 in class, which are away. Rob Hartley looked like he'd started to escape just a little bit, but since the last time we checked in on the Mazda MX-5s, it seems to have closed up a little bit as Travis Schwenke seems to come on the pace in the closing bit of the run. So maybe Hartley's got a short run car. I don't know if it's like this. I'm speaking in NASCAR terms here. Hartley's got a short run car, and Travis Schwenke's car is probably better over the longer run. Any of the Daytona 24 Hours at the weekend, Alex, with Fernando Alonso?
Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting to see how he gets on. I'm more interested to see how Lando Norris stacks up against him, to be fair. Obviously, Lando does a fair bit of iRacing. Member of our team for a short while. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing how he does. Yeah, should be good. Obviously, Mike Downs did very, very well in the iRacing version of the Daytona 24. So did a lot of the drivers from this series, of course. That was not in the Daytona, sorry, that was in the Raw before, wasn't it? So, yeah. Unfortunately, our Daytona didn't go quite as according to plan. We were, crashed out, I think, on hour 2 or hour 3 by a rogue DP team that had equivalent to about a 1500 I rating. So lots can be debated on that, I think, on like the iRacing system for getting into top splits. Tyler Shiflett into the pits. He saw the MX-5 there, didn't want to get held up. Mike Dam follows him in as well. Who is that behind? That's Kevin Ford. So it really is just Nom out there on his own. Did Clint Vigas come in as well? Vigas in as well.
So quite a lot of cars in. Daytona 24 Hours happened at the weekend, by the way. But just trying to see where Alonso finished. But down the pit lane they all go, and it's going to be a race off pit road here to decide who is going to be coming out in front. And the way things have been going in this opening stint, this could be a race-defining pit stop here by these 4 cars getting jacked up. Looks like 4 tyres for everybody, may as well, because you can take tyres and fuel at the same time in these 4 Mustangs. Great stop by Vigas, not a good stop by Kevin Ford. He's going to be the one that gets left behind. It is Dan that leads him out of the pit lane, then Clint Vigas, then Tyler Shiflett, and then Kevin Ford.
Having a little look here at Michael Monaghan, having a bit of a run. He's going to make a move here on Scott Brooks into turn 1, I believe. And you're right, it was, wasn't it? I was getting my weeks mixed up. I was thinking it was last week, but it wasn't. So unfortunately, I was working till early hours of the morning on a customer's site. So yeah, missed most of the racing action that weekend.
So I'm still yet to see it myself. I have got it recorded. I'm sure it'll be on the internet somewhere for me to catch up on. And the good thing about me not knowing the results is that I haven't spoiled it for you if you haven't watched it either. So
yeah, we're both as naive as each other.
Yeah, call us motorsport fans. I know that I was more focused on Rally Monte Carlo, I think. Well, Mike Dam, he's focused on getting back to the front, and he's just disposed of Jennifer McDonald, who hasn't come into pits yet. Guess who's coming, Alex? John Allen. He's made that early visit to the pits. We haven't got to halfway yet, and he's looking like he's already rolling the dice with the strategy.
Yeah, he needs to do something, didn't he? He's dropped back, so get back in there. Clint Vigas move in past Jen as well, and through, maybe. Tyler Shiflett following through, so all the guys with the fresh rubber out there making their way through.
Now this track definitely looks like one that's a tyre eater.
Yeah, I believe it will be. I mean, it's just a combination of everything, isn't it? You've got high speed, medium speed, and low speed, so the tyre really takes a pounding here. Our first sector is all about the high speed stuff, isn't it? So builds the heat, and then the slow speed stuff at the end of the lap. You know, getting wheel spin there really causes problems.
few more cars into the pits. Mike Griffith, Russell Ruddock and Andrew Lanning, 3 Mustangs in there. Aero Nom stays out for a second lap. Either he must be still confident in the life there in his tyres, or he's going to be losing quite a lot of time. We'll only be able to tell you that once Mike Dam and Clint Vigus and etc. set a meaningful lap. They're currently on their outlaps at the moment as the order continues to change as the pit stops continue.
Having a little look at the front of the MX-5s again, and Travis. Yeah, he's just. Oh, I think Travis is just doing the typical thing that we see with the MX-5s. You know, they're kind of saving fuel. They know that, you know, if they can gain 2 or 3 seconds in the pit stops with less fuel, it really sort of opens up the race for them. And I wonder if some of that's going on. Yeah.
Both of them stay out on this occasion. We have just gone past the halfway mark, so just under 30 minutes to go here. And now here comes Travis Schwenke for the lead as we go over the start-finish line to start lap 13 in a Mazda MX-5. You may be able to have noticed that these cars haven't been lapped yet by the Mustangs, and that is with the Mustang not yet making its pit stop. Schwenke through then into the first corner, up the inside he goes, and this is probably just drivers being pretty racy, pretty calm with each other for now. Also, the main part of the race for them is going to be later on when we get down to the final few minutes, because as always, this class comes alive in the closing stages of the race when everyone's gunning for that race win.
Yeah, that's it. It's just all a bit of a dance, isn't it? Until then, you know, I was just sort of thinking about it. I was like, they move around a little bit, change some positions here and there, but really it's just a bit of a dance, just all getting ready to, you know, for the final few laps. Just a bit like, you know, sort of professional cycling. You know, I know Andrew follows that a lot closer than I do, but it really is that. It's just all about getting themselves positioned. You know, save the energy in the group the best you can, so that you're there ready for that sort of, you know, sprint right at the end.
Almost like athletics as well with the long distance running now. I was almost about to compare it to battleships as well. That'd be a bit of an interesting analogy. Anyway, Travis Davis into the pits. Michael Ruddock also joins him. Aero Nom stays up for a 13th lap. So he is continuing. Someone's overshot the mark there. That probably was Michael Ruddock, as that's going to lose him a bit of time. Andrew Lanning versus Mike Griffith. Those two are going wheel to wheel here, going into the final corner. Up the inside goes the Ricmotech car of Griffith. He takes the 8th position. That should become 6th once he's got by the cars here. We're just waiting for Davis and Ruddock to come out the pit lane. Davis might just beat these two as they come up the hill. There he is. This is going to be very close into the first corner. Griffith gets forced out wide and onto the AstroTurf. There's no grip out there, as you can see by the Mustang sliding about. And now we've got a fantastic duel on our hands here as Andrew Lanning gets past the car of Griffith with a long right-hander at turn 2.
Pit stops always spice things up. Mike with a long stop, 29.9, and I think, yeah, well, I think everybody else is taking tyres. I'm quite surprised by the length of time that is.
Is that because of us watching the World GT Series too much, or is that?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. You have people in Scott Brooks, and the sort of the back 3 cars of the Mustang. So Travis is actually moving up through that field. So it just goes to show the kind of pace that he's had out there.
Indeed, yeah. But where's John Allen then? They were a bit ahead of him, but he's coming up. He's just coming down the front straight now.
Reinham's out and Co out. So I think he's just going to be. I think he's going to be on there. He's going to have closed up, certainly, from where he was before he pitted. Not sure he's going to be inside the slipstream range, though. He needed about 1.5, 1.6 seconds, didn't he? And he's 1.7. So it's a heck of a good couple of laps. Got himself back into this, I feel. If he can just... He was marginal on fuel if he can get into that slipstream and save fuel while trying to close in on them, he could be there at the end of the race.
Our leader is in. Mike Dam had an astonishingly quick pit stop, 17.9 seconds. Aeronom's not able to match that, 18.4. He's out the pit lane, but he's still going to get up through the gearbox, and I think Mike Dam has hit the lead for the first time today since he took the pole. He lost the lead in the first corner.
Oh,
gets the lead back.
Makes contact with Nom as well. He tried to get the cut back there on turn 1, but Nom had kind of planted his car on the apex, knew exactly what Tyler was trying to do, and yeah, I think both have survived. Hopefully no kind of aero or mechanical damage to either car.
Not the first time that has happened in any series. We've seen that before. Mike Griffith versus Andrew Lanning for 6th and 7th yet again. That is Lanning just holding on. It looked like another move up the inside there by Griffith, but a fantastic duel between those two. Has all the marks of going on and on as well. Right, 24 minutes to go, and Mike Dam hits the front. He's got a 1 second advantage over Mike Dam. Travis Schwenke is in the Mazda MX-5s. Whereabouts is Rob Hartley and Brian Holmes? They're just coming into the triple right-hander. We'll see if they're able to get ahead of Travis Schwenke as he hits his marks in the pit box, and we'll see how long this stop takes.
As long as it's not, what does he need to get? Under 21 seconds roughly to maintain the lead.
Very quick stop, 18.
18.1, he's away. He's going to be a couple of seconds up the road from them. Of course, they will have had a slightly fresher. They don't think they've changed tyres, have they? They've got the same tyres, is that right? I can't remember exactly how long the stops are.
Didn't see the car get jacked up on that one. I was looking at the timing screen, to be fair. So, oh no, he did. The tyres did get changed. Just 2 tyres, though, left sides only, I think.
Very quick though.
Yeah, and Schwenke, the gap is 4 seconds to Rob Hartley, and
too much.
That could be too much, yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see on how the tyres go. If the guys behind took all 4, I just feel like they're probably going a bit safer on the fuel. I don't think it's an extra. Don't think it's any different with the tyres.
Gap starting to come down now for the lead. In the Mustangs, Mike Dam then 0.6 of a second advantage now over Aeronom. It was over a second about a lap or 2 ago, but since Noms comes out the pit lane, he's got that advantage of fresh tyres, and now start to apply the pressure on the Canadian. Can't really get too much further away from Canada here in Austin, Texas. The further south he can get, really. But Mike Dam doing a good job here, as yet again the positions change between Mike Griffith and Andrew Lanning. Let me guess, I think Griffith might have just mounted another opportunity in the first corner, and just like that, Andrew Lanning again able to hold his own. And good defensive drive, Alex, because that's the 3rd time now that Griffith has looked up the inside into the first corner, and Lanning just calmly holding that position around the outside and keeping that 6th place for now.
Yeah, it's great. Keeping the overlap, isn't he? Getting on the power nice and early, and of course the track drops away to the right through there as well, so he always has the high ground. Not always easy to do. Sometimes you can run just a little bit wide, or a driver on the inside can just run out into you and push you wide. So hopefully you can keep it up.
Jim List into the pits from the lead, and so is also Joe Boyd. Zachary Rubin also in as well. The last few cars coming in the Mazda MX-5s then to make their pit stop. Now here comes Griffith down the back straight. I was just going to see if Griffith could get this done into the left-hander at the end of the straight. He's looking up the inside. Needs to make sure that Lanning can't get him back. Contact's made. Oh, a little bit forced there. Now the door's open on the inside for Lanning, but I think Griffith has the braking ability, and he does get that place. So Mike Griffith now up into 6th position, back where he started.
Trying to keep the overlap, wasn't he? Didn't happen this time.
Jim List leaves the pit lane in 6th position. 29.2 second stop, so I'm guessing that's 4 tyres for Jim. That's why he's now in 6th place and quite a bit, 2 seconds away.
Yeah, something Jim will have to figure out, I think. All of a sudden he'll be quite a way behind, lost some places. Won't be happy with that, but yeah, hopefully as he washes it back, he'll realise got to be a bit more aggressive with his tyre swap options for this series.
2 positions lost in a lap for Lanning. Travis Davis has now got by going into the final corner. Lit up the rears as well on the exit. TD trying to get some of these positions back here. And he has duly done so. He's back where he started now in 7th place. What are the lap times like at the front in the Mustangs? Mike Dam, a 2:22.5, and Aero Non with a 2:23.0. And for the first time today, Alex, with 20 minutes to go, we are finally starting to negotiate some of the Mazda traffic.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Long old circuit, isn't it? So working their way through. And this will have a difference on lap times. They will obviously get a bit of slipstream and get held up in corners if they catch them all at the wrong time. So just when Dan was getting close to a second margin, I think it's going to bunch back up again.
Up to lap here. That is the Mazda of. We know, but they're getting past them anyway. It is Joe Boyd and Jim List, the 2 cars that we saw in the pits a moment ago, and this is where the Mazda is so superior to the Mustang, and it's really causing them a hindrance. As you can see, the 2 Mazdas on both parts of the track, and Mike Dam now having to pick his way through carefully, and Aero Non having the opportunity to close in on Mike Dam, but swings and roundabouts. You can see in the penultimate corner there, Joe Boyd in the way of Aero Non, and now the gap back up to 6 or 7 tenths.
Got to go around the outside of the long right hander. Never easy, especially when your car on the inside technically handles the corners a bit better. So it just goes to show performance Dam's got. He's able to hold it around the outside there.
Lap time at the end of the lap then, 2:24.3 for Dam, 2:23.7 for Nom. Quickest driver of anybody on that last lap was Kevin Ford with a 2:23.7. Sorry, 2:23.3. So despite the poor pit stop, Kevin is getting in there. Right, we are getting to the crunch point in the race. 18 minutes to go. The pit stops have all been completed. We'll be back in a few moments here on Apex Racing TV for the concluding part of round 3 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at COTA. And just like that, we're back on Apex Racing TV. 17 minutes to go. You've missed nothing here. Only the top 4 in the Mazdas remain on the lead lap as Aero Non starts to turn the screw a bit. Those 2 now starting to wedge away from the likes of Shiflett, Vigas and Kevin Ford. Back to the gap, back to those guys. It's 3 seconds. And Nom and Dam, it's those 2 for the win. It was those 2, Alex Simpson, that have won the opening 2 races from the season so far. Maybe a title battle is starting to emerge here at COTA.
Yep, I sense that. It's going to be a good one as well because they seem very, very competitive with each other. So it's going to be good.
The whole season on Apex Racing TV. This is race 3 of 12. What a start to 2018 this is. Looking forward to this one. Indeed, over the line they go. 2:23.4 for Dam, 2:23.4 for Dam, 2:23.6 for Aero Non. So another 2 tenths taken out there, and I wonder if Nom may just start to get quicker lap times as we go towards the end, because he pitted slightly later than Mike Dam, 3 laps later. So I wonder if that could bear dividends at the end of the race. In the Mazda MX-5 then, Travis Schwenke leads. The gap though is starting to decrease. The gap was 4 seconds after the pit stops. It's now down to 1.8. Just when it looked like Travis Schwenke could have maybe just be home and dry. Never say never in this class, because Rob Hartley, Alex, is halved the gap already with 15 minutes to go.
Yep, the 2 tyres obviously save quite a bit of time in the pits, but perhaps not the best long run pick. And I think you only need to get half a second, and Hartley's going to have the slipstream, and he's going to come steaming up behind him then.
These guys are just coming down the back straight. Our leader, Travis Schwenke, going into the left-hander at the end. Mike Dam is about a third of the way down the straight now, so he's coming, and they'll probably get there in the next, I reckon, 5 or 10 minutes or so, so they'll be able to get by before we get to the end of the race. So it looks like at the moment, as things stand, we won't be having one of our last lap confrontations between the Mazdas and the Mustangs in this one, but it'll be very good to see these cars get by them, because they are the 4 quickest drivers as things stand in the Mazda MX-5 Championship, and the points are pretty close between those guys as well. So race order, 14 minutes to go. Mike Dam leads, second Aero Nom, third is Tyler Schiffler and Clint Vigus in 4th. Those 2 are pretty close, and Kevin Ford in 5th. 6th is Mike Griffith. He's coming under increasing pressure from Travis Davis here, and we might stick with this actually, because they are now going wheel to wheel going into the complex. This is where Griffith was able to get past Andrew Lanning a few laps back. Davis, he wants to get this 6th position. Oh, really running into the back of him there. Both of them missed the apex by quite a bit, and yeah, they continue their battle. 7th is Davis, 8th Andrew Lanning, 9th Russell Ruddock, and then Michael Ruddock in 10th, and Catino 11th from McDonald 12th, 13th Scott Brooks, and Raymond Bailey Jr. and Michael Monaghan, who is the Open Series leader in the Mustangs, not having the best of races here today. But in the Mazdas, Travis Schwenke leads, 2nd Rob Hartley, 3rd Brian Holmes, 4th John Allen, 5th Jeff Jacobs, 6th Jim List, 7th Joe Boyd. Those 2 pretty close. Zachary Rubin in 8th in class, Jordy Fike, Lyndon McMurphy, Dave Carrido, Mike Taylor, Chris Torman and Edgar Sanchinelli, all running very lonely races as things stand. It may be close at the front 4 in the Mazdas, but yeah, everyone else in that class very much spread apart as Mike Dam starts to spread his wings, Alex. The gap is just over a second now, to 1.1 seconds after a very good lap by Mike Dam.
Yeah, starting to show that qualifying performance now, isn't he? And yeah, you touched on it as well, but the MX-5 is really just starting to spread apart now, which is a bit unfortunate. Top 3 still very, very close together, and Schwenke he's had his deficit really cut the last few laps, and of course Holmes took up the mantle of 2nd place, and he's coming in relatively quickly. I think at the end of the next lap they'll be all over him.
Gap down to 1.1 seconds. Quite remarkable how this gap has decreased over the last few laps. 2:29's Travis Schwenke's been doing, 2:28 by Brian Holmes, and Schwenke only on his stint now for 5 laps compared to the 6 laps by Brian Holmes. That extra lap could be starting to make the difference. We'll wait and see. We've got just over 10 minutes to go. What an amazing 10 minutes we could be starting to build up to here. Travis Davis versus Mike Griffith, and it looks like Davis might have this done. He's leaning on Griffith as we go into the right-hander, desperate to get this move done. Up the inside goes Griffith to take the 6th position back. And this is allowing Lanning and Ruddock to also close in, and those guys are pretty close as well as Clint Vigus, Alex. Looks like he might have got past Tyler Schiffler. That is in the final corner, so Vigus up into a podium position.
Good job from Clint. Let's see if we can get a replay of that move back, because we were watching that other battle going on.
Looks like it may be a right rear lock-up, or just yeah, or maybe, yeah, very weird.
little sideways through the long right-hander, so I think it's just got the tyres a little bit cooked through there, and that's what's really opened the door for Clint to go on the offensive.
Is it possible that that Bifflet may have cut the inside of the penultimate corner? Because I remember back from racing on that would be a slowdown penalty.
Yeah, possibly, yes. He did look like he turned in late, sort of almost on purpose there, didn't he?
It's very easy to do. The off tracks and the slowdowns on another sim. It's possible to pick up a slowdown penalty for going too wide going through that penultimate corner, which has caused me lots of annoyance in the past.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Because you don't gain any time going wide, but yeah, this punish just the same.
Lead battle has now come down a lot as they're now reaching John Allen. Mike Dam gap down to 0.3 of a second as they've just gone past Allen. They're now into turn 12, gap down to 0.5 of a second. Of course, Aeronom using the slipstream, well, very little of it, but he's using it nonetheless. Blows in on Mike Dam. There's not going to be too many laps left of this one, you know, because of how long it takes to do a lap around here, and they've still got the front three in the Mazdas to lap. And as that battle continues, the Mazdas are going to get
sorry, I need to cut
closer.
you off. Travis Davis perhaps shaping up a move down into the chicane from the long back straight on the brakes. And the camera just jumps away as he was going for the move. What's going on there? We don't want that. Oh my word, and we're back, and he's all over the place. And still, I think he's going to get the position though, as Griffith has a little look back, but yeah, nothing coming. Damn that automatic camera switching away.
It can't be as bad as Silverstone with the shot of trees. Well, I can't tell whether these two are having fun with each other or not. It definitely looks like a heated battle. Oh, 2 o'clock in the morning. Penultimate corner. I think we can get away with it. Not the worst thing I've said on this channel by any means. Going into the final corner. Going into the final corner, Travis Davis then. I wonder if Griffith could fancy a move up the inside. We did see him try it quite a bit when he was passing with Andrew Lanning earlier on in the race. It might just be too far back here.
Yeah, he's not really got the run, as he hasn't closed up at all. Normally you can tell they just start to edge in, and he's just using the slipstream to equalise out the fact that he didn't quite get such a good exit as Travis there.
And then here come the Mustangs to lap the Mazdas, and they're going to do it at quite a convenient point here. Onto the back straight they go with 7 minutes to go, and that is going to be Rob Hartley lapped, and also going to be lapped as Brian Holmes, who's up in second place. They might just get to Travis Fenke as well by the time we get to the end of the straight.
Yeah, Nom's not, that's for sure. You might get one of them now. He decides it's not even worth it, so brakes pretty heavily, and there's got a couple of the MX-5s in between him and Dam now. He lost a little bit of time. That's the last thing he wanted through this infield section.
1.3 seconds now, but now Mike Dam's still got to get past Travis Fenke. Looking up the inside, but the Mazda's just going to be so good. Round the outside goes the Mazda. Look at the drive it has. It's just able to power back around the Mustang here, but Dam should be able to take to the outside and get that done. Gap 1.1 seconds now as Nom continues to not be able to get by either Brian Holmes or Rob Hartley. He's only just been able to get past Hartley now.
He's been in that cockpit screaming to be let go. Because all of a sudden the gap, yeah, exactly. All of a sudden the gap that had come down has shot back up again.
Incident involving cars 17 and 54 is under investigation by the stewards. That is 17 Griffith and 54 Travis Davis. Probably the bit of contact that we saw while the camera was doing other things. So they're both still on the track. So my personal opinion means that they should be able to get no further action on that one.
Yeah, I'm with you there as well. No further action makes sense to me.
No penalties yet. That's the first time we've actually had a call from race control.
Yeah, it's been quite quiet, hasn't it, tonight with that front? we've had a few that have been a bit busier, but yeah, tonight, bang on.
There was a time at Sebring last week where I think we had to we had like quite a few to read out in one go.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did.
Yeah, quite a bit. Right, 5 minutes to go. Not too many laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas. Just a reminder that we'll be having interviews with the winners afterwards. We'll try and get a massive forum of thoughts later on in the season, but yeah, we are suffering with the time just for the time
I'm afraid
being.
that's my fault. Been working all weekend, and yeah, by the time this finisher will be up, not quite 24 hours, but we won't be far off it.
Well, the incident has been reviewed, but they haven't put in the text what the outcome is. So we're waiting with bated breath on that one. Typing away, no further action. There we go. Well done by the stewards on that one. Even the two drivers will agree on that. That being said, Griffith has dropped a little bit behind Travis Davis now, and maybe that was his chance. But it was Davis getting by, wasn't it? So maybe that has worked out for him. Mike Dam sliding his way through the long right-hander. He is pushing here because he knows that Aero Nom now they're all clear of the Mazda traffic. There should be no more Mazdas between now and the end of the race. Now it's Aero Nom's opportunity to really put the hammer down and see if he can close this 1.1 second gap inside the final 2 laps.
Yeah, it's time to go now, isn't it? Really. That slipstream, try and hope for the best. From way out, just really doesn't gain anything. 1.1 coming out of the corner and 1.1 going in, so needs to focus on the corners, see if he can get them as quick as possible. Try and close this gap.
Mazda battle still, as always, immensely close for the win. Top 3.
Oh, mistake from Dam. Got the line completely wrong, and that's allowed Nom to catch up a couple of tenths of a second. Just not enough.
Wonder if these tyres are just starting to go. They are the older rubber for Mike Dam. Not what he wants, but the gap still remains at 1.4 seconds. It's actually gone up as I don't know whether Nom had a slow exit to the S's.
Not quite ideal. Yeah, really not sure what's going on there. Kevin Ford, Tyler Shiflett, they're very, very close as well. We'll leave the leaders alone just for a minute.
Yeah. Well, we've got 3 Mustangs coming up to 3 Mazdas, and off goes, that's Vigus. And off goes Tyler Shiflett in avoiding action. This could be 2 positions for Kevin Ford here if he plays his cards right down the straight. He tucks back in behind Shiflett to pick up a toe and coming up to get some of the Mazdas as well. So this could get a little bit ugly here if the Mazdas and the Mustangs don't behave. Vigus is out of it now. He was in 3rd about 10 seconds ago. He's now down to 5th. Up the inside goes Ford. And in the space of a straight, he's up to 3rd, or is he? Because Shiflett now is the inside line. Oh, and he nearly clatters into Rob Hartley, who's just in front.
Yeah, Hartley worrying right now. What's going on with these two? Both drivers being very patient, I have to say.
Feels like it's game.
I was going to say, it's just allowing them, really, isn't it? Just the MX-5s just to sort of do their thing. And yeah, the Mustang drivers, I'm sure we'll just be egging them on a little bit to get a move on, especially through this sector, get them down the straight.
Like it's game over for the lead. Gap up to 3 seconds now. Ford at the inside into the final corner. Late on the brakes. Round the outside goes Shiflett. Look at them scrambling for grip. Now he gets a position there off the circuit. I won't go too much into that, but down the front straight we go onto what will be the final lap of the race. Going to go past surely all 3 Mazdas. They're going to get by 2 for definite, but looks like Schwenke doing his best to hold on the face of these 2 Mustangs here. Kevin Ford trying to use this to his advantage as they go around the long right-hander of turn 2. Oh, there you go. That Shiflett through just before the S's.
Oh!
And that's a slowdown, isn't it, for Schwenke?
Yeah. Not what he wanted. it a slowdown, or do you just get us, or is it just an off track at that point? I don't know. He did proper go across. I think it might be a slowdown. He's trying to serve it there. He's trying to serve it there. Just a little bit slower into the corner. You have a couple of sectors to get it done. Otherwise, it will get black flagged, and he has to move on over. Does Travis? Disaster on the final lap of the race. Still in it though, isn't he? Managed to get it served and stay in the slipstream, so that was actually pretty good. So he's not over and done at all. Bit premature there. Oh! Hartley just about holds on to that. He was trying to get the best exit he could. He knew he needed that against Bryant, and now he's vulnerable from Travis.
There you go.
Where is Dam? Let's just quickly have a little look. Coming through the final sector. You're right, white flag is going to come out, but let's stay with the MX-5. So I think that's where the battle is on this final lap of the race.
Oh, I think he did have second place, but he lit up the rears on the exit. That's Hartley back up the inside going into turn 13. And all of a sudden, Brian Holmes looks like he's going to take the victory in this one after a slowdown on the final lap for Travis Schwenke. Mike Dam, though, won at Daytona. He's going to get the business done here at the Circuit of the Americas. Through the final corner he goes. He won at Daytona. He likes to win on the odd races, and he gets it done here. Mike Dam wins right at round 3 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Second for Aeronom. Third is just going to be Tyler Shiflett after a fantastic scrap with Kevin Ford. Clint Vigus is going to be 5th. Race winner is going to be Brian Holmes in the Mazdas. Second place for Rob Hartley, and third for Travis Schwenke, who got a slowdown on the final lap of the race whilst getting lapped by the Ford Mustangs. John Allen 4th.
Absolutely gutting.
Really, yeah, after 59 minutes of pure perfection by Travis Schwenke, having a 4-second lead after his pit stop, finished third in the end. Not going to be happy with that at all. I think that's Brian Holmes' first win of the season as well in the Mazda MX-5 class. That goes along with John Allen's win at Daytona and Rob Hartley's win at Sebring. So yeah, 3 different winners in the Mazda MX-5 class. Just a few more cars to come across the line. We've got Matthew Katila coming around to take what will be 11th place. Just missing out on a top 10 here today. Katila finishing where he started as well as he comes across the line. Jennifer McDonald, here she comes. That is going to be the same as well. Started 12th, going to finish 12th as well here. And then we're just waiting for Scott Brooks, Michael Monaghan and Raymond Bennett Jr. To come round, and they will take their final positions as well.
Well, I can't sit back down in my rig because I feel like I would never get up. So, yep, I'm ready for the results to be read out. That's the trouble with COTA, isn't it? You just have to wait for the straggling few drivers to finish. So apologies for that, but we've captured most of the battles that were going on out there.
We can use this time now to save time at the end of the broadcast by telling you that tomorrow, well, today in the UK, but tomorrow in America, we have got the BSR MX-5 Winter Series. That heads to, looking on my Monza. There we go. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be good. The Monza Junior layout as well. That should be very good indeed. The last time I saw that was the Skip Barber race, and the Rallycross on Thursday as well. We'll be hitting the rev limiter quite a bit, I think, on that one. That's going to be a gas guzzling race, I should say. And then, yeah, and then the next broadcast after that, I believe, is Monday again with the Ricmotech Sports Car Series as we await the return of the World GT Championship. So, yeah, join us for that on the following week. Right, everyone's finished the race, so we can run you through the finishing order. Mike Dam takes his second win of the season, pushed all the way by Aeronom. Gap was 3.5 seconds in the end, however that does flatter to deceive. It was much closer than that for a good proportion of the race. Tyler Shiflett finishing in 3rd, and Kevin Ford finishing in 4th. Clint Vigus starting 5th and finishing 5th. However, he was in the podium for the majority of the race and lost it after sliding the car going onto the back straight. Finished 5th though in the end. Travis Davis in 6th. Mike Griffith 7th, Andrew Lanning in 8th, 9th for Russell Ruddock, and 10th for Michael Ruddock. Matthew Katina finishing in 11th, 12th for Jennifer McDonald, 13th for Scott Brooks, 14th for Mike Monaghan, 15th for Roman Bader Jr. Race victory in the Mazdas for Brian Holmes, first win of the season. Robert Hartley in second and Travis Fenke finishing in third. John Allen just wasn't able to live with them today, finished in fourth. And Jim List in fifth, Jeff Jacobs sixth, Joe Boyd seventh, Zachary Rubin finishing in 8th place, 9th for Geordie Fike and 10th for Lyndall McMurphy, 11th for Dan Carrido, 12th for Mike Taylor, and 13th for Chris Foreman, and Edgar Sanchinelli in 14th, 15th for Michael Key, 16th for David Payson, and then the one car that fields the two cars that finished the race, David Payson and Corey Wharton, who had issues early on. Joining the commentary box then, Mike Dam. Well done, second win of the season, and even though the gap was 3.5 seconds in the end, you really had to work for that win today.
Yeah, this was a real tight race. We had some Eero and I had some really similar pace there. So yeah, after that second pit, it was basically a sprint race, and we were both on edge, just pushing that car to the limits.
First stint then, you started on the pole. Everyone on the outside seems to have got the better starts, and for up until the pit stops, you were in about 3rd or 4th position. So things weren't going entirely to plan at the start of the race.
Yeah, I messed up turn 1. I cut it a little too tight. Didn't get a good enough run. So yeah, 2 guys got by me there. So overall, it was a really good race. There's some a couple guys, Clint and Tyler. They're both real fast tonight. So had we stayed a little closer after the pit stop, I think it would have been a real tight finish.
With the Mazdas, with the circuit being so long, the Mazdas seem to have quite a weird advantage at this in the second half of the lap. They seem to be a bit quicker than you, so it was tricky trying to get by them in the later stages of the race.
Yeah, especially in that tight technical area at the end there. The Mustang doesn't like that very much, especially since I kind of set the car up for the high-speed S's, so I kind of had a stiffer suspension there. So that really wasn't an ideal place, no.
Well, next week then, Twin Ring Motegi, 90-minute endurance race. How do you fare that one going?
I think probably to a lot of drivers, there's probably not going to be too much experience there. It's one of the more unique tracks on the service, so I think it'll probably be some fair grounds, and I guess we'll see who can adapt faster.
Right, well, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Oh, yeah, just all the sponsors, Ricmotech, GD's Tree Service, and you guys for broadcasting, doing a great job for us. Thanks for doing that. And I'd just like to just a shout out to all the drivers and the admins for making the series what it is.
Very well, well done on the win. Second win of the season to go with the one at Daytona, and thanks for coming to speak to us as well. And we'll see you at Twin Ring Motegi next week.
Okay, guys, have a good night.
I've forgotten where we were racing then. Brian Holmes joins us there in the commentary box in late drama for him, and he has suffered with us as well because it's coming up to 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, Brian, the final lap of the race, Travis Fenke gets the slowdown, and you're able to come through and take the victory.
Yeah, you got a feel for Travis there. Travis had great pace and got slowed down last lap. He just couldn't clear it. I don't know whether it was with the Mustangs or whether he did it on his own. But yeah, bit of a shame, really.
Tell us about your race then. It never seems to be a lonely one for you in the Mazdas. It's the front 4 of you, Hartley, Schwenke, and Allen, and things seem to go your way for the majority of the race. The strategy seemed to work out well.
Yeah, first half of the race, I didn't feel like I had any pace, but then it came to me. Second half of the race, started dragging Travis back. He had a gap for about 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So we made our way back to him. A great race in the end.
Just speaking to Mike Dam, next week we go to Twin Ring Motegi. How will the Mazda cope with that circuit? Because it is another long one.
That'll be a bit like today, a bit of an unknown for me. I've never driven around COTA, so to get a win on my first time round, hopefully carry that into Motegi.
BSR MX5 later, you going to be around for that one?
Yep, I will be. That should be fun.
Yeah, the Monza Junior layout. Can't really get more of a contrast between these two.
Let the craziness begin.
Yeah, we'll be showing it. And yeah, before we let you go, Brian, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Just to the guys that run the league, it's absolutely impeccable, how they run it. Crazy. So a big shout out to those guys.
Oh yeah, same as well from us. But yeah, well done on the win. First win of the season, and hopefully more to come next week at Twin Rim Motegi. Thanks for speaking to us.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Brian Holmes there, and Alex, for final thoughts, another good race in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
Yep, fantastic race. Thoroughly enjoyed that, even if it is, sleepy time.
It really is. Well, thanks for watching on Apex Racing TV. The next race meeting will be at Twin Rim Motegi for a 90-minute race. Andrew Woodhouse will be with Alex in the commentary box later for the BSR MX5. But from all of us here at Apex Racing TV at the Circuit of the Americas, we are just about out of time. So thanks for watching and have a good night.